So one of my favorite things is getting into the spring garden. Look, all this dead stuff over the winter. Getting in here and cleaning it out. This is my mama's garden. And we're gonna do some cleaning today because we've waited the 2 weeks of warm weather. So all the organisms can wake up that are in the soil, and now we're going to get to work. So when you see something like this in your spring garden, it looks like it's dead. It is not dead. It is just, it went through the winter. So you can see right here, you can see the little new growth coming, the little purple growth. So, don't dig this up and say, well, this thing is dead, because it's not. So this thing is about, 4 feet high. We're gonna go at about 1 foot, and we're just going to prune it, because if you don't prune all this dead stuff off, the plant is going to spend a lot of energy trying to regrow that. So you have to prune this all off. Now, what I do is I just put this in a, you can put it in a bin, you can put it in a pail, whatever you want, and I just dry it out really good. And then I'm going to, in the summertime, I'm going to use it to put underneath the leaves of the plants, and that'll keep the soil moist. It'll keep weeds away. It's all good. So don't throw out all your leaves and your dead stuff. So this is a little hydrangea bush, and they have all these dead little flowers on it from the fall. So I'm just going to pluck them off. And again, we're going to use all of that to put back into the soil after, so let it dry really good, okay? So I'm gonna put that in our pail, and I'm just going to prune this little guy, and it's called deadheading. I'm going to take off all these dead little flowers and pull them right off, so that the plant, again, instead of putting all its energy into dead stuff, it can put its energy into new growth. And I'm just going to give it a little pruning. I'm going to show you something. See right here, you can see some new growth coming up. You can see the purple there against my hand. So I'm going to prune. You can see where I've pruned just above that. So I'm going to leave that new growth, and I'm pruning just above it. So you can see all this dead stuff. There's no sense keeping that. So we're going to trim it about, 3 inches above the ground, and that'll trim it up nice. So we've pruned this. We've left about 5 inches of plant. See this little growth here? We pruned just above the growth. We didn't cut any of the growth off. So I'm just going to give it a soft little, just loosen up the soil. And don't forget, anything that you take out of here, keep it in a bucket. See this bucket, all of this debris is going to dry out, and then we'll mulch it with our hands and put it, when the garden is growing more and there's lots of leaves, we'll put it underneath the leaves. That keeps the moisture in. It helps with weed control. It's all good. Oh, I'm going to show you a little before and after of this bed. It looks terrible. Hey, Ma?
It does.
But we are going to fix it. So one thing in a spring garden, sometimes you don't know, is this a weed or is this, a plant, because everything looks dead. So the rule of thumb, if you're not sure, don't pull it out. You might be pulling out a nice perennial from last year. Just wait until things get going again. I know the urge is to clean in a spring garden, but it's good to wait a little bit too. So it looks better already, doesn't it? Cleaned up a little bit and ready to see what's coming out in the spring. And here's my bucket of debris that I am going to keep, because that is vitamins later for your garden. Just make sure that your weeds or your sticks don't have roots or seeds on them. They won't have seeds at this time of the year, but even roots, because you want to cut those roots away because you don't want to accidentally have the weeds growing in your garden space when you put this stuff back in. So one of my favorite things, cleaning out the spring garden. It's awesome. Gives you hope that there's a whole season of gardening ahead of you, and you have a good day.